Okay, so I wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up. A couple of the problems for homework have some tricks to it. So let me give you one of the examples. Number 9 on the homework says y equals 4 cosine, parentheses, 3 theta plus 5 pi over 6 minus 2. And the problem is that when you are identifying A, B, C, and D for each equation, this piece of the puzzle right here is going to be a little tricky because you've got to factor out the 3 before you do anything. So what you're going to have to do is, okay, you've got the y equals 4 cosine. Oops, let me get you some room over here. Okay, so y equals 4 cosine. We're going to factor a 3 out of that piece inside. And so what that's going to do is it's going to make it theta plus, and if you take 3 out, how does that change what's in there? Essentially, 3 times something has to equal 5 over 6 pi, 5 pi over 6. So 3 times something has to equal 5 pi over 6. So if I solve for that x, 5 pi over dividing by 3 makes that 18. So that's what has to go in here, 5 pi over 18. And then the minus 2 just tags along at the end. So that's a little trickier than what we were doing before where you didn't have to pull anything out. So now that I had to do that, my graph, I can identify each of the pieces that I need. So I have my A value. Okay, so let's get this here. So my A value is 4. My B value is 3. C is now 5 pi over 18 going to the left, and my D value is 2 down. Okay, so once you have all those, now go to your graph. And it's a cosine graph, so that means I'm going to start at my amplitude, and my amplitude is 4. Okay, so I'm going to start at 4. Now, the period for the graph, remember, period is determined by the B value. So the period is 2 pi over whatever B is, 2 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3, if you know, it's 120 degrees, 2 pi of 60s. So here's 180, so 120 is going to be right about in here somewhere. So 2 pi over 3 is where it ends. And then halfway between that, which would have been 60 degrees, is where it's at its lowest. So this is what it would look like without any movement. Sorry, my graph is not very pretty. So it would go down, and then it would come up, something like that. Okay, you could probably make a little prettier graph than that. And then you have to move it. So I have to move it to the left by 5 pi over 18, and that's, you've got to figure out what that is in degrees. And so the quickest way to do it would be to say, all right, what's 5 times 180 divided by 18? And it's approximately 50 degrees. Okay, so you can say, all right, I'm going to move everything approximately 50 degrees to the left and 2 down. So 50 degrees, remember this is 90, so 50 is right about here. So the distance you're moving is like about there. So I'm going to go 50 to the left and 2 down. So I took this point, 50 to the left, 2 down. I'm going to take this point, 50 to the left, 2 down. This point, 50 to the left, 2 down. This one, 50 to the left, 2 down. 50 to the left, 2 down. And it's not perfect, but at least I can get an idea of where my graph is going. So let's see. It's going there, there, and up. So the green graph is what the answer should be after you move it. But the key is pulling that 3 out. Okay? So hopefully that will help you and you can do the other ones.